The second wave in India is getting worse. The country recorded more than 400,000 cases in just the past 24 hours, the most of any country in a single day since the pandemic began. The rise in infections is leaving hospital staff overwhelmed. They're turning away patients due to a lack of oxygen. The country also dealing with a vaccine shortage. Joining us now on Prime to talk about the situation in India is Dr. Mohina Gupta. She is an internal medicine specialist, and her parents are living in India right now. Dr. Gupta, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I know you have family members in India who have tested positive. How are they doing, first of all?
Most of my immediate family is in India, including my parents, my brother, his family. And just last week, my sister-in-law, niece, and nephews all had COVID. Thankfully, they are doing okay and, on the mend at this time.
And we know that we're hearing, what are you hearing about what's happening in Indian hospitals and what they need most there?
So just firsthand information from a lot of my friends and colleagues who I went to med school with over there. They said the situation is absolutely dire. There's lack of beds. Basically, patients cannot even be admitted to the hospital since they just don't have the space. And on top of that, we have lack of, oxygen, concentrators, BiPAP, ventilators, and even personnel now caring for these sick patients.
It's so tragic to see. We're looking at some video from India right now, and you mentioned you have friends there who have lost relatives, and we're hearing for the last several days about a vaccine shortage in India, as you mentioned, but that's not the whole problem. You say you know people who actually were fully vaccinated who have died?
Yes, as a matter of fact, every day I'm on some of these message boards with my colleagues back home, and every day I hear of a death of a loved one. It's almost scary to read those messages. Yes, definitely there is a shortage of vaccines compared to the population that is there. And I've known of just a handful of people who've actually died after having been fully vaccinated. But I do believe those are really the outliers. Now, India really has a new variant which they've found, and it has mutated. It has two different mutations, and it seems like the vaccines are not as effective against them as we would hope they would be. Most of these trials were done before this variant really came into being. So a lot of still out there. We still don't know so much about it. But what we know so far is preliminarily the Covaxin, which is one of the vaccines, and the Covishield, both are effective against it, and they have about 65 to 70% efficacy at this time. But again, in short, even though they are not as effective in preventing the disease, they definitely are very, very helpful in preventing serious disease or hospitalizations.
And let me ask what a lot of our viewers are probably wondering, is this a warning sign of something that could happen in the U.S.? Are our vaccines going to protect us against these variants?
That's a great question. Yes, we have to fear this, with international travel and just globalization. It's just a matter of time. We've already seen some of these variants already come here to the U.S. in 3 different states. So I think we have to be extremely vigilant and careful, not let our guard down, and continue to get vaccinated. I can't tell you really how effective these vaccines are going to be, but just believing in the science and how these vaccines are supposed to work, I don't have a doubt that they will work. With time, we will need to tweak them a little bit. Maybe need a booster shot come this fall, but again, continue, safe distancing, quarantining, etc., especially for travelers coming from there.
And quickly, as we wrap up here, the U.S. has announced it will restrict travel from India starting Tuesday. You're in a unique position. You're both a doctor and someone who has family and loved ones in India. Do you think this travel ban is the right move?
Absolutely, it is the right move, at least to slow down. It's already here. So what we can do really is to try and give them time so they can have their lockdown, prevent it from coming here while, we do our best to just try to have less cases, maybe get more of our people vaccinated here. So even if this does reach here, we are able to fight this.
All right. Well, Dr. Gupta, our thoughts are with your family members and everyone in India, and we thank you for joining us on Prime tonight.
Thank you so much.